gays, theys and thems, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a good old-fashioned mukbang. I used to do these a few years ago on my channel and you guys seem to really like them. So I thought, hey, why not do another one? So we're here today with my lovely partner Harley.
Hi.
So introduce yourself, go ahead.
So I am Harley. I am a non-binary mess. I enjoy video games, anything nerdy, superheroes, and it just so happens that I love pizza.
Yeah, so we decided to go for pizza today. We haven't tried this place before since like moving here. It's called Pizza Planet and we used to have a Pizza Planet in Birmingham and I loved it. So yeah, I thought why not? So we got some curly fries, which I'm so excited for. There you go. And we've got, what did you get?
I got, dare I say, ham and pineapple because I am a true believer that pineapple belongs on pizza.
And I got the doner pizza, so it's like doner kebab meat with onions and then cheese. And then we got this box, but I don't actually know what it is.
I'm hoping garlic bread.
Yes. Okay, so we got free garlic bread as well.
Cheesy garlic bread as well.
Which is really exciting. Okay, so we're just going to talk with you guys today and about how we met, where we met, our first date. So yeah.
It was an
so good.
interesting night, wasn't it, the first time we met?
Mhm.
Oh,
So
cheesy.
we met on Tinder.
As all the cool kids do.
Mhm. And it was really funny because I was literally like an hour or so before I saw their Tinder profile. I was about to delete the app. I was like, you know what? I can't be bothered. I was on the app for a while and I didn't really get anything from it. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to delete it.
My pineapple. Sorry.
I can't be bothered. And then I was having this debate in my head and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to delete it, whatever. And then literally the second that I thought that I was going to delete it, I swiped and then I saw Harley's profile and I was like, damn. And I really liked their bio description. It was really funny and it had some meme references in from Vine. And I loved that.
Free Shabakadoo!
And I thought they were absolutely stunning and I was so excited. So then I swiped right and then I put my phone down because I was too scared. And I was like, no way in hell are they gonna swipe right back. And then I think it was about either a couple hours or the next morning, I woke up and I had a notification from Tinder and it was like, this person has matched with you. And then I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I went on the app and I looked and I was like, no way. And they actually swiped and matched. And I was so excited.
And it was all downhill from there, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we were talking for a while and we bonded a lot over animals.
Video games.
Yeah.
Just a lot of our sort of beliefs in the world and stuff, like if we had a spirit animal, what would it be? Things like that.
We had a massive conversation for hours on how much we love sharks.
Oh yes.
And how much we loved wolves. The animal, not the football team. And that was really cool. And then there was one weekend, I think we'd been talking for a week and a half, and I was going on a night out with all my friends. So I invited them to come with me, and you were so nice about it. Like, you could have just been straight up, no thanks. But you were like, oh, I get anxious really, really easily, and it's kind of, I haven't had time to like plan it or anything, so I'm gonna pass, but I definitely want to meet, kind of thing. So that was really nice.
And then we went out, what was it? It was probably the weekend after, or maybe a couple of weeks after that. We went, it was like the first time we'd met each other, and we decided there's like this rock club back where we lived at the time, and it was amazing. It was like emo, rock, metal, beautiful. So we both knew that we liked it there, and we'd been there before, so we were like, yeah, why don't we just meet there on a night out? Like, it's a place that we're both familiar with, there's lots of people around, so it's not going to get weird. And I brought my friend Holly at the time. I remember stepping out of the Uber, and there you were. You had like a little beanie on. Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah, so earlier that day I had work. So I was at work for a few hours that day, and I'd come home and I had a nap, as I used to always do after work. And then I woke up at about, I think it was like 6, 7 p.m. and I had a message from Harley, and they were like, hey, I'm heading to this place tonight, do you want to come? I was so excited but so nervous, but I was like, you know what, let's just do it, let's just go. Now, I went, and I went on my own, which some people would say was a stupid move, but I was like, well, we're meeting in a public place, there are so many people there, and I trusted at the time this club, and I was like, if it gets weird, or I feel uncomfortable, or obviously they're not who they say they are, or anything like that, then I can just turn to someone at the club and be like, hey, this is the situation, this is what's happened, and then they would have like took me outside, put me in an Uber, no problem. So I got an Uber there, and the whole time I was so anxious and scared. And then I got there first, and I was just waiting outside, and I was messaging one of my friends, Chelsea. Hi Chelsea, if you're watching. And I was like, oh my god, I'm about to go on this date. I am terrified. I'm outside the club waiting. I'm so scared. And she was like, go on, Soph, you're gonna smash it, all this. And she really like hyped me up. And then an Uber pulled up right in front of me, and out steps you and your friend Holly.
I was there trying to pull some Jessica Jones fucking shit, leather jacket.
Yeah. And it's literally, the second I saw you, I was just like, whoa. I was like, I was like, nah, this is a dream. Like, no way. You stepped out and you had like these black skinny jeans on, this like black leather jacket, and at the time, Harley had like really long hair. And I was just like, whoa, I've never looked at someone and just gone, like literally, you could have slapped me and stepped on me and I would have said thank you. It was one of them moments. So then,
we've probably been having, we went into the club, didn't we?
yeah.
We had a couple of drinks.
But the thing is, when we get anxious in a situation, we drink more to like loosen ourselves up, to be more like confident or whatever and calm.
That's important to what happens in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So I was drinking a load, Harley was drinking loads, but we didn't think anything of it, whatever. Like, we didn't want to just clam up and just be too nervous to speak. So we're drinking, we're vibing, we're dancing together. I'm at this point extremely tipsy, and I start getting all fucking confident. So I'm there, they go to the bar to get another drink. Also, I thought this was really, really nice. Harley turned around and was like, oh, I'm going to head to the bar and get a drink. Do you want another one? And they brought me a drink. No one has ever brought me a drink before, so I just thought that was so nice. And then they go up to the bar. There's me going up behind, putting my arms around them. Honestly, the confidence in me that night, whoa. Never
Grabbing
had
my
it again.
arse.
Yeah.
I remember that, copping a feel. Oh, shaky.
And then, so at this point we're pretty drunk, right? So, I turn around, we're dancing. Holly's gone off at this point doing her own thing. I turn around, my little confident ass, and kiss her. So I kissed you. I was so excited. Then we turn around, we're going to walk into this corner. And you say, oh, I'm just going to go to the toilet, I'll be right back. I was like, okay, cool. Then what happens?
Sorry. Well, the club at the time had 2 lots of toilets. There was one upstairs and one downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And the one downstairs is always busy because it's where like the bars and most people are. So I thought I'd go upstairs, save some time. If my memory recalls, I'm pretty sure I went upstairs and peed first.
Huh.
But the stairs in this place were pretty steep. Even if you're sober, like you would, not want to be running down them. So yeah, finished in the bathroom. On my way back down, my drunken mess of a person falls down the stairs. All of them. Quite, hard. I ended up on the floor, in and out of consciousness. Also, bear in mind, I'm drunk. I'm absolutely fucked, which did not help. So I ended up in an ambulance.
Mm-hmm. So, while all this was going on, I was still in the main part of this club. And I just was like, okay, I'm just going to stay in this spot and I'm not going to move because I don't want, if they come back in, to not know where I am. So I'm stood there, and I was probably only stood there for like 5 minutes or so. And I'm like, okay, it's cool, I'll still wait. Then it was like 10 minutes, then it was like 15 minutes, and I was like, oh God, what's happened? And this club, bearing in mind, gets so jam-packed of people. Like, it is busy every single weekend. So trying to find someone, and there's so many little parts. So there's like the main front bit on the stage, then there's like round the bars, then there's a smoking area, then there's like another bit by the entrance, and then there's all upstairs and toilets and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm sure, they'll be back soon. So I'm there and I am waiting, and it must have been 20 minutes and no sign. So I was like, oh my God, okay. And I had no idea what had happened. So I go and look for Holly, and I'm looking for Holly, and I say, hey, have you seen so-and-so? And they were like, oh, no. She was like fucked as well. So I was like, oh God. And I spent the rest of the night just searching the club for this one.
In my defence, at the time, I had a phone that was broken. So the only way I could message people to let them know where I was going was on my laptop. So the moment I left, my house, you wouldn't be able to get hold of me. So because of what had happened, my phone was useless. I couldn't message Soph to let you know what had happened. So you thought I'd just legged it?
Because it just felt like too much of a coincidence to have kissed you, and then you disappeared kind of thing. So I'm carrying on drinking. I'm absolutely plastered at this point. So anyway, 3 a.m. comes, and that's when the club shuts. I'm outside and I meet up with Holly, and we're stood there outside the club, both fucked out our face, waiting to see if Harley comes out. They never did. So Holly goes, oh, I know where Harley lives. Maybe they just went home. So we both hop in an Uber and we end up at Harley's place, which wasn't that far from the club. And then the next thing I remember, me and Holly are outside this Tesco, which was opposite where Harley lived, because she was getting out money, I think. And then I don't remember anything else. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in my bed Sunday morning. My dad shouting at me, Soph, come on, get up, you need to go to work. I had work the next day. So I dragged myself out of bed, hungover to fuck, and take my ass to work. While I'm in the car, I have messages from Harley. They were like, "Hi, I am so extremely sorry about what happened last night. I feel awful." And I was like, "It's okay, like, are you okay? What happened?" And they explained to me what happened.
There was no way you believed me. Like, it
No.
was just such a crazy story that you're like, just say you left. Like,
And I was just like, oh. And yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't believe them because it just sounded so wild and so out there. I was like, no way is this real. And I didn't see anything, you know, I didn't see an ambulance outside, I didn't see security, I didn't hear or see anything. So I was just like, you know, you could just say you didn't like me or you stood me up or whatever. And that's what I thought had happened. Anyway, and then they were like, I have a black eye to prove it. And I was like, oh God. So anyway, the day carries on, I'm at work. I'm literally constantly popping out to the toilet every hour to throw up. So that was fun. But then Harley says, can we please try again and start over? Can you come round, I think it was like Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday sounds about right.
And we'll go to Tim Hortons.
Which, for the record, amazing coffee shop. We need more of them in the UK. Canada knows what's up.
Yeah, and then we met up that time.
We had coffee, didn't we? Because I was trying to convince you that Tim Hortons do this thing, and it's called an ice cap. And I swear to God, it's like the best iced coffee you will ever have. And I convinced you that we need to get one, because you're very much a Starbucks kind of person, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this will change your life. So we get there, have our drink, sit down, and I think I proceeded to ask you maybe 1 million questions.
Yeah. Which was fine. Like, I really liked that they asked me so many questions, because obviously we didn't do much talking on the weekend before.
Probably felt like you were on the chase.
Yeah. So they asked me so many different questions, like, do I work? What do I do at college? Do I have any brothers and sisters? What's my favourite animal? What's my favourite colour? All like the generic normal questions. And it actually went really well. Like, I was so nervous at first, but I could tell you were really nervous to begin with. But then, after a couple hours, we were fine. We were just talking like we'd been like friends for our whole life.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. And then we went back to yours because Harley was living in student accommodation. So we went back there and we just watched like a film and played like a load of video games.
Yeah. And then, yeah, from there, things have been pretty alright for the most part. Had a couple of blips, which pretty much were entirely my fault. But yeah, we've been doing really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really well.
And now look at us, we've got this little flat pizza and this little guy who's trying to bop all the pizza out of my hands because he thinks that we're not going to notice. Yeah.
But yeah, we're coming up to... So, we'll have been together 2 years in February next year. That's really exciting.
Last year, for our first year anniversary, we went to Edinburgh.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And now we really want to, like, live there. Because, like, Liverpool's nice. We do really like Liverpool.
Yeah.
But...
Something about Edinburgh, though, it's just...
It's so magical.
Warms
and it's
your
just
soul.
so beautiful. And, like... Even though, like, I've only ever been once, it stole my heart, like, 100% straight away. So, yeah. But, yeah. So, we had quite an eventful meeting. So, since we've been together, you guys know, if you've been following my channel for a while, I'm extremely into the paranormal and ghosts and spooky shit and horror and all that kind of stuff. And I've shared a lot of my ghost encounters and things of that nature on my channel over the past few years. So, of course, when me and Harley met, one of the first things I was like, oh my God, are you spiritual? Do you believe in ghosts? All this kind of stuff. And for the longest time, they were like, not really, like, I'm pretty sceptical about it, but I'm open to it, like, whatever. So, of course, we were going to have some, like, weird, wacky experiences together.
Mm. One of the first ones was probably before I moved in with you, but I think I'd been sleeping at yours quite a lot. And I'm someone who gets sleep paralysis quite often, like once a week at the very least, and once a night is probably normal for me. But I don't really see anything with sleep paralysis, it's just the feeling. Sleeping over at this one's, your bed used to be against like the back corner by the wardrobe, so that the loft, the main part of the loft was directly above where you slept.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this sleep paralysis and I've never had anything like it before. It was, all I could see was orange, and there was like this angry man screaming, "Get out!" And it was all I could hear. And I remember waking up and telling you about it and being like, what the fuck, I've never had sleep paralysis like this. This is what is going on. Someone in your loft is mad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It was so creepy. And I always said since I was little, there was something in our loft. Like, I just knew in the attic, I don't know what it was, but there was something there, right? Obviously no one believed me. But I had this friend called Harry, and I was talking to him one night, just over Facebook Messenger, and he does a lot of like tarot cards, and he is amazing at them. Like, he is so on point with his readings, it's scary. And anyway, so we were just talking and just having this conversation. This was last year. We were just having, a normal conversation as friends do. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Soph, can I just stop you there?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he was like, "I don't know why, but I'm getting a really weird feeling that there's something in your loft. And it's like a really tall man. And he's so angry and he's so hateful. I just needed to tell you that." Now, of course I believed him 100%. But he told me this after Harley had the sleep paralysis in my house.
And I hadn't spoken to Harry or anything about it.
And neither had I. So no one knew. It was just us. So for him to say that was so weird.
Mm.
What else have we been through?
The Hatmen thought our souls were going to get stolen in our sleep because
Oh my god.
that's a valid fear. Oh, I didn't like that one at all.
Mm-mm. So, I've talked about this on my TikTok.
So sorry.
So if you don't follow me on TikTok, it's just at Soph the Ghoul, like it is here on YouTube. Anyway, so I did TikToks about that, and I was talking about what had happened. Oh my gosh, it was so... Go ahead.
So basically, we were asleep one night, just chilling, and it wasn't like a sleep paralysis or anything, which is, I think, what probably scared me more, because I was weird. So I woke up because I just had this sudden feeling that I was being watched, like we'd moved your bed against the window, and it had like a high, what do you call it, like the bed head thing.
Yeah.
And it honestly felt like someone was leaning over right above my pillow at like a 45-degree angle, like this.
Yeah. Because bearing in mind, we moved the bed when we like redecorated last year, and we moved the bed because of the experience Harley had with the sleep paralysis. So I was like, yeah man, we can move the bed, that's absolutely fine. So for this, what Harley's about to tell you to happen was just wild.
Something's after me. So it wasn't like I saw it with my eyes, but I could see it in my head. I don't know, maybe it's mental illness, but I don't think it is. Someone stood over the pillow, someone stood by the side of the bed, like next to where Soph would be sleeping, and someone stood in the doorway, and all three of them were really tall. They had like trench coats on, hats, and like a briefcase, like some sort of Men in Black weird stuff going on. And I woke up and I was like, what the fuck, bad vibes, something is not right here. And I told you about it, didn't I? And you actually went on to say that you'd seen them before.
Yeah, so I was fast asleep when all this was happening. Anyway, so the morning after, I wake up and I just look at Harley as I do every morning, and they were literally white as a sheet, and they looked terrified. Like, imagine if you've just received the worst news of your life. That's what Harley looked like. And I was like, oh my God, what has happened? And yeah, so they tell me what happened the night before, and I literally sat up in bed, and I was so shocked because, so in 2017, I had seen the exact same thing as Harley had. I saw the over 6 foot tall black shadow figures with the top hats holding a briefcase. For me, it was only slightly different. They had like piercing red eyes, and they stood in the exact same position as what Harley saw them in. Bearing in mind, I think there's only 1 or 2 people that know about that. So Harley never ever knew, because I just never told them. It just never came from conversation, I just forgot or whatever. So yeah, so they never knew. So then when that happened, I was like so shook, because I was just like, how we both experienced the exact same thing, but I've never ever talked about it with you.
Years apart as well.
Yeah.
And then we thought we'd be really smart about it and Google it. Which was bad.
Yeah.
So apparently the Hat Men, they're seen like all over the world. It doesn't seem to stick to any particular culture, religion, whatever. Apparently they turn up because they're in times of stress.
Yeah.
To steal your soul.
Yeah. So we both Googled that, and that's what we both found. And at the time, Harley had just come out as like non-binary and was really, really going through it, and had received some great feedback, but some shit feedback as well from like family and stuff. And yeah, so obviously they weren't feeling their best. They weren't feeling like amazing or anything. And they had a lot of down days, and they were really, really sad and just staying in bed a lot of the time and things like that. So then for the Hat Men to turn up, it was like, whoa. At that, literally, it just all fit and it all made sense. It was so scary. And I Googled some like Hat Men forum or something, and there was thousands of people from all over the world who had experienced the exact same thing, and apparently they want to take your soul. So that was scary.
So where are you? You went to sleep with a necklace of obsidian. I had nothing.
Yeah.
I was going.
And then this pizza actually so good. I've never had doner pizza before.
It's proper cheesy as well. Oh.
So then, a few nights after, Harley's obviously really struggling to sleep and to like fall asleep and to stay asleep, because obviously
didn't want to lose my soul.
Yeah. And all jokes aside, like, if you guys had seen what Harley had seen, you wouldn't want to sleep either. So there was one night I had fell asleep hours before you had. And anyway, so it was probably about 4 a.m. and Harley was asleep at this point. And I am not joking, honestly. Something happened when I was asleep. So I was flat out, fast asleep, and I was on my back. And all of a sudden, I just feel, I don't remember dreaming, or I wasn't having sleep paralysis. It was nothing like that. It was kind of just like an empty sleep, you know, where you don't dream, or you don't think you dream, you don't remember it or anything like that. So I was completely flat out, dead asleep. And something literally grabs my pyjama top and yanks me forward, and all I remember is lying there and going like this in my sleep. And then I woke up because I thought it was Harley, so I like tapped him like that and was like, that's not funny. And they woke up and they were like, what are you on about? And I was like, why did you grab me for? I was fast asleep. And they were like, I was facing this way, I didn't even touch you. and I've never been so scared in all my life.
I thought you were joking when you were first like, oh, what'd you grab me for? And I was just like,
It was
shush, didn't do anything.
horrible. It was so scary because Miley wasn't in the room, so it's not like she was anywhere near me. It was literally just me and you.
Yeah.
Bad vibes.
Bad vibes indeed.
I hated that. Like, out of all like the ghostly encounters I've had, that was probably one of the worst because it was so aggressive. Like, it's not like something just woke me up gently. It's like something grabbed me and yanked me awake. That, it was so scary.
What's up, demons? It's me, your boy.
So, we thought, when we moved out to come here to Liverpool, that, things will stop. Like, the ghostly shit will stop.
And did they?
Because I thought all the ghostly stuff was tied to my house. Like my parents' house.
It's not the house that's haunted.
So, for the first couple of weeks, it was fine. There was nothing really.
But once we settled, we both spoke about a man that stood in the doorway of the bedroom, didn't we? Really tall and just watched you sleep. Not good, not bad, just watched.
Yeah.
And then I think you had an experience where something grabbed you in the bed, didn't you?
So, I had sleep paralysis one of the nights. Now, bearing in mind, I have probably only had sleep paralysis 3 or 4 times in my whole life. Like, it's really, really rare for me. It's not like I get it like every single night or like once a week or anything. So, anyway, so we were fast asleep in bed and I was on my front this time. And I usually lie with my hands like this under the pillow on my front and my feet dangling off the bed with no covers on. And I don't know what the time was, but I just remember lying there and in my head it was like I was screaming for Harley because I was so scared. And you know when you're so scared that your entire body just freezes and you literally cannot move? It was like that. And I was lying there and then I was like half awake, half asleep. In my head I was screaming for you because I just didn't know what to do. And something then all of a sudden grabbed my foot at the end of the bed and lifted my leg up. And the way I woke up was, I woke up because my foot started moving up the bed, like off the bed, like moving up like this. And that woke me up and I just stayed there. I didn't know what to do. I just sort of laid there and I was like, oh my God, oh my God. So then I woke you up and I was just like, please can you just cuddle me? Please can you just hold me? I'm like so scared. It was so weird because as well, while I was having this like sleep paralysis, I felt the presence of, once again, a really tall man, like probably 6 foot or over, shadow figure just stood in the doorway of the bedroom, like just watching us sleep.
And it was then that I told you that the first probably week or so that we moved in, I had like sensed this guy in the doorway and every night after we were asleep, he would come and sit on the end of our bed and I used to feel the bed go down, like when I was like half awake. And yeah, I think that was the same guy.
Yeah.
Basically, ghosts seem to be addicted to us.
Yeah. It was so weird. And
I wouldn't mind, but I'm scared of the dark.
oh, we haven't seen the Hat Man here, have we? Or have we?
Well, I don't know if the tall guy that we sense in the doorway is a hat man of sorts. Except he doesn't wear a hat.
No, true. I don't know.
But he is very tall.
They all seem to be like 6 foot or taller. That's so weird. But, so yeah, so we had like a week or so of loads of different things happening. So that was really creepy. And then again, it kind of died down and went really quiet. So we were like, oh, okay. And then, this one night, we were doing something in the kitchen and we'd left this like measuring jug out and we had these like metal measuring cups, and they were just left on the side.
I think the measuring spoons were in the jug, weren't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was left out on the side in the kitchen. So we go to bed, and then we're lying in bed and we're just talking, like we weren't that tired. So we're just lying there. And then all of a sudden, we hear something move their measuring cups. Well, we think that's what it was. It sounded something metal. And it wasn't just like a little bit. It was like someone knocked it over or picked them up and put them back down again with force.
Well, they were on the floor when I came out to check.
Yeah. So at first, because at this point now, we had got Ambrose, our cat. And I passed it off because I was like, oh, for God's sake, that bloody cat. Thinking that he was like climbing on stuff. And then literally the second I said that, Ambrose moves on the bed. So Ambrose was on the bed the entire time. Because, was the door shut or open?
I think it was pushed too.
Yeah. So Ambrose was on the bed the whole time, so it wasn't the cat.
Then I get sent out, don't I?
Yeah.
Go and have a look for me, babe. Alright, I'll go see if there's a murderer in the kitchen waiting for me. I tried to convince myself that it was, maybe the fridge rattled and knocked something somehow, or, sheer coincidence, but in all honesty, there's no way that it could have fallen, because the jug as well is like a really steady jug, it's not easy to knock over.
Yeah. Like, somebody or something had to have knocked it. 100%. But when we came out, the cup itself, that wasn't knocked over. That was exactly how we left it. It was just these like measuring spoon things. So that was another thing that really, really scared us. And we hear all the time, we always hear like...
Footsteps.
Yeah, like especially around here, behind us in the kitchen.
If we were in the bedroom at night, we can hear someone walking around in here.
Yeah. And we hear a lot of like knocking, scratching on walls, things like that. And so where we live in like a big like building complex. So we're not the only ones here. There are like different floors of like loads of different like little apartments. And obviously, to begin with, from going from a house to an apartment, you can, you hear sounds. Of course you do. Like, you're not the only one here. So that was really weird to like get used to begin with. And we obviously now, we've been here since September, we know what, if someone talks, oh yeah, that's the neighbour. Or if someone bangs on a wall, oh yeah, that's upstairs or that's one of the neighbours or something. So we can pinpoint if it's somebody else, 100%. But a lot of the time, we'll hear things like scratching on walls, little knocks, little bangs, things like that. We know it's coming from in here because as well, the noises that we hear from like neighbours and stuff or things outside or in the corridor, they're really like muffled and dull, which obviously makes sense.
These are quite clear.
Yeah, and you would expect. But these ones we hear, it's literally like we'll be sat here on the sofa and you hear it in the kitchen or you literally hear it behind you on the wall here. It's so creepy. And a lot of the time, so we don't really have like a proper bin. We just have like a carrier bag that we put up on a hook over there. I don't know if you guys can kind of see it just there. And yeah, so, that's where our bin goes. And so many times it's literally like someone rattles the bin bag because everything starts falling in the bin. And that is so creepy when that happens because it'll always happen at like 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. And it's not the cat because it literally happened to me 2 nights ago and Harley was in bed and I was still out here on the sofa and Ambrose was next to me fast asleep and had been asleep for like an hour or so, and all of a sudden the bag just started like rustling and moving, and then because obviously we drink Coke, one of the Coke cans fell in the bag, and I was just like,
Like, I'd understand if it was like the bag settling because you'd just put something in sort of thing. But when it's like a couple of hours since you've been to the bin and it just decides to move,
Yeah.
you're just like, no.
It's so creepy.
And I'll tell you what freaked me out. The other night you'd gone to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd gone to bed quite early. I was on the sofa with Ambrose. We only had like a couple of lights on here. We didn't have the big one on. And he was on my chest, fast asleep. You know, he'd been making bread, doing all this thing. And I noticed a couple of the baubles on the tree were moving on their own. Like, nothing else was moving, but just a couple of them were just like swinging. And then I just had this really bad vibe, like towards the desk area. Ambrose wakes up, right, proper arches himself and is like staring there, and I'm just like, if the cat doesn't like it, I'm out, I'm gone. I was so freaked out. I did not like it. It just felt bad. No.
Because obviously, like, if you guys don't know about the paranormal and things like that, so animals are extremely sensitive to the spiritual world and supernatural things. So, you know, if you think that your house or wherever is haunted or has a spirit or anything like that, if you guys have a cat or a dog, you know, then they will be able to sense it, and that's how a lot of people are like, yep, 100%, like my house is haunted or there is a spirit here, because sometimes there'll be certain rooms in your house that your dog or cat will not step foot in. And yeah, so that's why it's kind of good if you do have a pet, such as a dog or a cat, because even if you have a feeling that, oh, okay, I'm not alone here, your animals will 100% be able to tell you if there is something there.
I mean, I'm not saying they'll protect you. He would run, like he would.
Oh yeah.
He's a coward. But at least you'd know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's really it for like the ghost experiences that have been happening so far. But you have a theory, don't you, about the tree?
Oh yeah, so I think I've only noticed a couple of these things happening since we got the tree. So I think something on this tree has something tied to it. But no idea what, because there's a lot on that tree.
Yeah. So basically, this Christmas tree that you guys can see here next to me, this was my parents' Christmas tree, and this year they weren't really bothering as much with like putting the tree up, decorating, you know, they're having little knickknacks around the house, but they weren't going to go like full out or anything. And obviously we're here in Liverpool for Christmas this year, just us two, and we didn't have anything, and you know, broke students over here, we don't have the budget to just go out and get a brand new Christmas tree. So I asked my mum and dad if when they visited could they bring the tree up, and they were like, yeah, no problem. So anyway, they came the other week,
Last weekend.
and yeah, you know, they brought the tree, and we've had this tree at home for years. For so many years we've had this tree. And all the decorations my mum and dad have had, again, for years. You know, a lot of them are way before I was born. So, yeah. But the weird thing is, since, you know, mum and dad brought this tree up and we put it up and we decorated it and everything, there have been a lot more weird things happening since we put the tree up. I don't know if that's just coincidence or it is something, because as well, so this tree,
Plot twist,
is kept in our attic for the entire year. And what else is in the attic?
Angry man.
Yeah. So I don't know whether he has somehow attached himself to this tree and has followed, like, come here and followed us here, or it's something to do with maybe some of the decorations on the tree. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't like it.
No. But obviously, like, we'll keep you guys updated if you're interested, and probably do like another video if any more crazy stuff happens.
Yeah, like if we're acting really weird in the next video, like out of character, call a priest for us.
Yeah. So yeah, that was our pizza mukbang, and obviously introducing you guys to Harley. So if you guys did enjoy this video and you did like it, please give me a like, because that really helps. Share this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, because you have no idea how much that helps my channel. And if you did like this, if you want us to do more videos together in the future, if you want more mukbangs and chill videos of us just talking about like our lives and things that happen, we can so do that. Just drop me a comment down below.
Say you want a mukbang, because I need a reason for Taco Bell.
Yeah, we'll probably do a Taco Bell mukbang at some point as well. And yeah, please don't forget to follow me on Instagram at @SophTheGhoul, and also on TikTok, because TikTok is where I am most active. I'm on it literally every single day and I post like all the time. And again, that's just @SophTheGhoul. And also, Harley also has a YouTube channel of their own. So if you want to plug it, please go ahead.
This is the part where I can't remember what it's called. No, it's Harley Gaming Productions. I basically just film a bunch of videos of me either crapping my pants over horror games or playing Fortnite. So if that floats your boat, please check it out.
Yeah, they're currently making their way through Outlast 2. And honestly, the gameplays are so funny. So please go ahead, check them out, leave them a like, click their notification bell, subscribe, and they're also at Harley Game Productions on Instagram and TikTok as well, which I'm slowly getting them into. So yeah,
That works.
I will see you guys again very soon. I love you all very much. Please stay safe, wear a mask, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye!